You know what's a great idea? If I go and look at my YouTube comments on my most recent videos. I hear the Creator Studio has had an update that is gonna make it even easier to use and even better for creators. Oh. Great. But let's see. You're looking a little disheveled. I can assure you my shovels are fully dissed. What the fuck does that even mean? Hello there, Fortnite gamers. It's Wissy-sama. Again, as you would probably expect considering this is my YouTube channel. So this video isn't going to be necessarily as highly edited or as long as my previous ones. I haven't really been sleeping particularly great this week because I've been sick and I'm in significant physical pain. So yeah, this is a commentary video about Warframe. Gosh, I wonder what this could be about. What topic could I possibly be covering? So yeah, I just wanted to respond to like one particular criticism or comment or whatever the fuck you want to call it that I've basically seen around a lot in kind of all of the videos about the whole Warframe is dying type thing. And that comment is something along the lines of, oh no, there's no content drought. What do you mean? This is just a thing that's being pushed by partners. By the Warframe partners on the YouTubes and the Twitch. They're just complaining. They're just complaining about nothing. Just ignore them. And like, I wanted to discuss this for two reasons. First of all, because it's kind of... I feel like this waving my microphone around isn't going to contribute to great audio. So I wanted to discuss this because there's basically nothing else to discuss that's Warframe related. So like, my basic response to this is pretty much... well, no shit, Sherlock. Imagine people that have direct access into the brain boxes of tens, if not hundreds of thousands of people, being the ones that lead a discussion. I mean, obviously they're going to be the people that are leading the discussion on this, because they're the ones that are most affected, and they also have the biggest audience. Most of the veterans and people that have actually been leaving the game are just regular people. Maybe there's going to be a few complaints on Steam or whatever or on the Warframe forums. But for the most part you aren't going to hear those criticisms because of the fact that they're being made by people that don't have that audience. They don't have the ability to speak directly to tens of thousands of people all at the same time. And also, Warframe partners have a fairly good reason to be doing this, considering that, you know, many of them are making their living off of making YouTube and Twitch content. However, you consider YouTube or Twitch to be genuine, real jobs. And yeah, look, I know that I made the joke in my last proper video. That was just a joke, okay? I do consider YouTube and Twitch to be real jobs. But regardless of whether or not you do, it kind of doesn't matter, because the fact is that there are people that are making their living off of this. And they also have actual obligations to make Warframe content. It's one of the first things that you agree to. It's right there on the fucking partner sign-up page that you've got to actually make Warframe content, because fucking duh, of course it is. Like, and the thing... And my question to you is, how the fuck do you think they're going to be able to make content if there's no content to make any videos on? That wasn't very well phrased. I don't care. But you get what I mean. Unless you have this kind of shitposting cinematic universe, the likes of a better name pending or something, you kind of screwed if the game that you're supposed to be making videos on doesn't have anything much to actually make videos on. I mean, sure, if people like Kayacha and stuff, it's kind of a different thing, because in her case, her kind of style can be carried over to other games. People like the style more than necessarily the fact that it's about Warframe content specifically. But that doesn't necessarily apply to every single other Warframe creator. Because if your shtick is doing build videos, what the fuck are you supposed to do when there's nothing to do that kind of thing on? That's why we've seen people like Noob Showtech just not making many videos at all. Because there's not really been all that much to do videos on. Also, I guess this provides me a good segue into another discussion, which is why don't you just go and play another game? Now, I already talked about this in my last Warframe related video, but that was mostly from the perspective of individual players. From the perspective of Warframe partners, just playing another game isn't necessarily as easy. Because sure, with people like Kayacha, her style can be carried over to other games. But like, that doesn't apply to every single Warframe partner. And you realize as a content creator, simply switching to another game isn't necessarily a good idea. Like, it's not necessarily something that you want to do unless you absolutely have to, because you're not necessarily gonna keep the viewers with you. Because you can't guarantee that your viewers are even gonna like the game that you switch to. In an ideal world, viewers would just go with you to whatever game that you decide to go and play. But that's not how it works. Because viewers aren't necessarily gonna like the game. And that's all the more a problem if you can't necessarily make the same kind of content for that game. Because that isn't necessarily gonna be the case. But you also have to consider the fact that YouTube's algorithm works in mysterious ways. And there's not necessarily any guarantee that if you switch from one type of content to another, you'll still keep getting recommended to the same sort of people that were liking your content already and that were watching already. If you start losing views or you find that you basically have to start all over again growing your community, then that's not very good if you're kind of depending on the income from your channel to live. And I mean, as I said in my last video, it's not like it's even particularly great for the people that are just playing Warframe normally anyway. Because you'll eventually get to a point where there's fuck all for you to do if we continue to have content droughts like this. Now, I appreciate saying this on pretty much the eve of Fortuna being released is probably kinda dumb, but I think it's still worth having these kinds of discussions about where we go after Fortuna. About what the Warframe team's priorities should be after Fortuna. Because eventually you're gonna have finished going through the content of Fortuna. So what happens then? Do we end up with another content drought like we've just had? Before they release... before they release 5 Tuna? Because if we do end up having another content drought like that, that's just gonna hurt the players again. And it's gonna hurt the partners again. And it's just gonna result in us having the same discussions that we're having now. So I think it's still worth remembering all of this and keeping all of this in mind, even if Fortuna is literally just around the corner. Like, it could even be released by the time I upload this video thanks to my shitty internet. I love you, BT. So yeah, I guess that's kind of all I really wanted to say about that. I did kind of want to do a longer kind of video, I guess, but like the middle of the week. But there's really been nothing much to talk about. Because my Twitter has just literally been fucking US midterm shit. Which, it's not even interesting to discuss in a non-funny way. Not that any of my videos are funny.
Too fucking right, you aren't funny, you're shite, you are.
Oh, what's that you say there? Donal, the legally distinct Australian duck, who I'll probably never use as a character again.
Fucking fight me, you little bitch, I'll shank you outside.
Alright, you wanna fucking go, son? Bring it, bitch. So yeah, me and Donal had a bit of a fisticuffs battle going on there. Can't you see from these convincing blood effects? That's the entire special effects budget of this channel, just completely blown right there. So Donal has fortunately been put to sleep. This video is about something. This has gone off the rails. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed this fabulous video. I didn't.